Hi, Judy from Witchpeace Craft, welcome. Well, I thought I'd done this video and scheduled it to go live while I was traveling, but I don't know where it disappeared to, so I'm going to do it again from my present location, Alice Springs. I hope you go and watch my Beanie Festival video, and that's why I came to Alice Springs. There'll be another video on some of the sightseeing we did around in Central Australia. This video is the crochet tag, which I was tagged by Gary from Urban Yarn and Jill from Gumleaf Crochet and Yarn. I think it's the name of her channel. Gary also tagged me in the song tag, and he did like a mashup Crochet Questions song, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tag a few people at the end. I'm doing it that way because I have done crochet tags before, but it never hurts to recap because someone new out there who doesn't know a lot about me. So, starting with crochet question number 1. How did you learn to crochet? Well, my mother could knit and I could knit because she had taught me to knit, but none of us knew how to crochet, no one in my family. And she had a women's magazine that had a pattern in there for a crocheted poncho for a baby to toddler size. And my sister was pregnant and I thought that'd make a great gift. So I went out and bought the yarn and followed the pattern. I did a reasonably good job. She liked it and used it and people commented on it. And it became a bit of a thing that I would make a little baby poncho when a baby came along. I'm laughing because I have lost count of how many nieces and nephews I have out there now, because at last count there was 36. I come from a very large family who went on to have a lot more children. So that was how I taught myself from a magazine. However, when I went back to it after a very long break, I improved my skills by watching Crystal from Bag O' Day and learning to make things with her. And my friend Ulia, who's a crochet teacher, has helped me along the way, because you definitely pick up some bad habits when you teach yourself. Okay, first song. This is a song that I like the drum solo in it. I just love the music. And it's a song from my distant past when Thing and I were dating. We used to go to a place where a band would do a great cover version of this song. Now, the guy who's originally did the song is possibly not popular. I've seen on a few shows where he gets bagged out, but I quite like it. So the song is Something in the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. I just really like the drum beat and the whole song. And it's a memory from when we first started dating. Question number 2, what's your favorite thing to crochet? Well, if you've been following me for a while, I love to crochet tea cozies. And I've been fired up lately to make more. They are a unique item and they seem to be popular here in Australia, in my area, and I sell a lot on Etsy at certain times of the year. I also like to knit them, but I do like to crochet them as well. If you don't know what a tea cozy is, it is a way to dress up a very dull teapot, but it also has thermal qualities and keeps your pot of tea warm. Second song. Now, this is a song from our youth when Thing and his friends, after a few drinks in the car or at a pub, and it always broke out, the whole crowd would start singing it. It was very, very popular. Bye Bye American Pie by Don McLean. This 8-minute song could bring a whole venue in Australia to a standstill with everybody singing along. It's a nice memory from my youth. Thing has about 4 friends he grew up with in high school, and they all used to, as soon as it came on, kick it off, and before you knew it, the whole venue would be singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie or Bye Bye American Pie, which it took me a while because the lyrics, there's so many lyrics and it's all over the place. It really is a political song from the 60s, a little bit about the Vietnam War, a bit about the president. And yes, about famous music people dying and all that sort of thing, all in a mishmash of a song. Bye Bye American Pie, Don McLean. Question number 3. If you could use only one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? Well, I've knitted with it and I've never really crocheted with it. There is actually 2. One I have knitted with, one I have knitted and crocheted. My favorite yarn is any Malabrigo yarn. It is beautiful to work with. And the second one is a yarn I picked up in Amsterdam from Stephen and Penelope's shop, Life in the Long Grass. It is absolutely awesome to crochet with. And I do plan to crochet with Malabrigo from Peru. I can't say that I have one in particular. If I was to pick an acrylic yarn, it would be Fiddlesticks acrylic yarn that we get here in Australia. I used to like Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling, but it's just easier to get Fiddlesticks and it's just as good. So that's the yarns I like. So this song. Now, I hope you go over and watch Gary's mood board for spring, because this is the song I picked and there is a story behind why I picked. It is Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And it has a special memory with my sister, who we consider the tea connoisseur. She has a huge teapot collection. And when you visit her, it's which teapot, what tea. It's such a ritual to have tea with her. We went out for tea one day to an alfresco tea place. And it was in a much colder climate, not unlike here today. And she made the comment, you know, you must really love the sun because you lift your face up to it and you have the biggest smile when you feel the sun on your face. And that was really nice. But what was special was there was an older couple on a table near us, and the older gentleman started singing Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And it was just, he did a great version of it. He had a lovely voice, and it holds a special memory of sharing a pot of tea with family. So we're in Alice Springs. I knew we were coming here. We have lived in areas for years on end with Indigenous population, large Indigenous population, small Indigenous population. And years ago, a lot of discussion about land rights, treaties, saying sorry to the Indigenous population. And I've always liked this song. I like the way the words, the way they constructed it. I like the guy who sung it, who has now passed away. But it is Treaty by Yotha Yindi. And hopefully I'll put a playlist in the description below if I can find all the songs on YouTube, so you can go and listen to them. But yes, it's very indicative of the time and the Indigenous popular and the way the Indigenous popular were feeling at the time. 4. What's the weirdest thing you've ever made? Well, I haven't really made many weird things. I'd say the brain beanie or the thinking cap beanie, which I found a little strange to make, and I'm really surprised at how popular it is. I have been asked at my last market to make some really weird item, and I said no. I was asked to make a pile of poo and put a head on it that resembled Donald Trump. The lady said, oh, I really want that. Can I order that? And I went, no, I don't get involved in politics, and I'm certainly not doing that. Regardless of my opinion of anybody, I'm not going to stoop that low. So I guess the weirdest thing I've ever been asked to make is that. The weirdest thing I've ever made is probably the brain beanie. I'm not really into strange items. So where are we at? That was I think I've skipped ahead with the song here before the item. So item number 5, something you'll never crochet. Answer: a stack of poo that looks like somebody. It may be funny, but I don't know. I don't think you need to to have a sense of humor to appreciate something like that. Enough said about that. The song. Well, for those who have followed me for a while, if you have, Eurovision. I am a Eurovision tragic. I've watched it for years, and my introduction to Eurovision was, of course, ABBA with Waterloo. Love it. Been to the ABBA Museum in Sweden. Highly recommend it. All the outfits, all the stories are all there. Definitely worth a visit. But yes, my introduction to Eurovision was ABBA and Waterloo, and I love the beat, and just awesome. Number 6, where do you get your inspiration for crochet? Well, make-alongs like Gary's mood board. Currently, I was inspired by Martin from 365 about Pride Month, and my garden and nature walks. I love looking at flowers, wildflowers, cottage garden flowers, and they will inspire me. But generally, if I see a cowl or a make-along come up, I look at it, and if it inspires me, I'm off and running. It's like shiny, shiny. That's what inspires me. Number 6, you may not have heard of this. It is Stay by Shakespeare's Sister. This is sort of a sad song for me. It makes me think about all the people, friends, family, who have passed over to another place. I just love the way she sings this, the notes they reach, and their interpretation on this song. I certainly recommend, if it's in my playlist, you listen to it and tell me it doesn't move you. What's your favorite thing you've made so far this year? Wow, I can't really think. I've made lots of things. What's my favorite thing? I don't know if I finished it this year, but it was the mood board cowl that I did, where I knitted 1 by 1 rib, and I have it with me here, and I knitted it in Life in the Long Grass. A crocheted item. There's so many. I haven't got a favorite. I do like to make the throws for charity. Yeah, I can't really come up with a favorite. Song. Now, this is an Aussie guy who's been around a long time. Unfortunately, has had some serious throat cancer issues, mouth issues, and I don't think he can sing anymore. I think he was lucky to make it through. It's John Farnham singing Help. His rendition of Help really moves me. It makes me think about people who need help, and it's just awesome. Yes, please listen to it. Aussie singer John Farnham, Help. Crochet plans you're excited about for working on my amigurumi skills. That's something I started last year, and trying to get better at them and coming up with some unique items. I'd say that's it. And doing more detailed, like shawls or wearables from graphs. Yeah, possibly that would be my plans to get excited about and get frustrated with, because I've started one, then had to put it in timeout and sleepy corner because I kept making mistakes. So, song number 8. The first concert I ever went to. Thing took me, I was probably 16 or 17, in WA, Perth Convention Centre, I think it's called. We went to see 3 rows from the front, Rod Stewart. I'm a big Rod Stewart fan. And one of my favourite songs is Rhythm of My Heart, which is really appropriate if you watch the video in the current climate in the world. But it was really hard to pick just one of his songs. But if something's ringing a bell at the moment and making, me sit up and take notice, it's Rhythm of My Heart by Rod Stewart. What's the worst thing you've ever crocheted? Oh, not because I didn't like it, not because of the pattern, not because the finished item didn't look great, but it's the bobble bear. It was such a challenge to make all those bobbles, and my old arthritic hands really ached, and it took a long time to finish it. You know, when I look at it, I think it's great, but would I make another one? I'm not sure, because I remember the terrible ache in my hands doing all those bobbles. But I wouldn't say it's the worst thing. I don't think I've ever had anything worse that I've wanted, that I've made. Would you crochet it again? I don't say I'll never do anything again. My favorite saying when I finish something and Reeves and thing look at it and say, what did you, and I say, look, it'll be a long time. I finished it, but it'll be a long time before I make that again. So this song is relevant today with what's happening in the world. And I just wish people would accept everybody for who they are. Stop fighting, stop beating your chest. I've always been a #1 fan of Pink. This song she released during the Bush administration, but the lyrics are relevant today. It's Mr. President, or where we live, Mr. Prime Minister. I just want them to stop, take a deep breath and think before they act. Please engage your brain before you open your mouth and get started, and start something that could just escalate into absolute devastation. So yes, Mr. President by Pink. Favorite thing about crochet? Well, I knit as well, but crochet is quick and versatile. If someone asks me for something for charity, it's generally short notice, and crochet is great for that, and it always looks amazing. And often people will go, oh wow, that's great, where'd you buy that? I didn't, I made it, it's crocheted. Now I learned from my friend Ulia why you have knitting snobs looking down on crochet snobs, because the story goes, in the old days, the upstairs ladies with money would knit, and the downstairs Irish maids would crochet, and that's where the knitting snobs would look down on the crochet people. Apparently that's the story Ulia told me. There you go. My last song. Now if you followed my rock make along, our music, well, for both of us, ranges from heavy metal, pop, jazz, whatever, all the way through to opera. It's not a genre that we like, it's the song or the artist or how they deliver it or the music. So being a Eurovision tragic, I was over the moon to see JJ from Austria win it with Wasted Love. I've forgotten what they call him, but he can sing. He sings with the Viennese Opera, I think it is. He can sing from baritone to soprano, but this song is part opera, part pop, and the video is amazing. And he certainly was a deserving winner. When I heard it in the semi-final, I got goosebumps. So that's my 10 songs and 10 tags about crochet. A mashup like Gary from Urban Yarn did. So who am I going to shout out and tag? It's difficult because some people have been tagged. But what I thought I would do is, you can, the ones I tag, you can do crochet music mashup. But if you've done the crochet, do the music. If you've done the music, do the crochet. All the questions for the crochet will be listed in the description below. So first off the ranks, and because she's been commenting on a lot of my videos lately, she's a lot younger than me, and I'm really interested in her, especially her take on music and how she learned to crochet. Abby from Blue Heart Crochet. I know you don't do a lot of videos at the moment or haven't, but I'm sure you could find time to at least do the music, if not both. Another one who seems to pop in and out, but not very much. I know she hasn't been well and had a lot on her plate. Jan, the Alaskan crafter. I'm not going to call you what Laura calls you. Jan, I'm sure you could do the music if you're not interested in the crochet. And if I'm tagging you, then I've got to tag your orange sister, Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. Do the music, do the crochet questions, or do both. Entirely up to you. Now, I know Jill from Gum Leaf Crochet did the crochet questions. So Jill, I'm tagging you to do the music questions. I'd be really interested in your music, especially watching your videos when you were traveling around in the car. I would be curious to whether you listen to music and what sort of road songs you have when traveling. So guys, that's it from me. Thank you to Gary from Urban Yarn and Jill from Gum Leaf Crochet and Yarn for tagging me. Often we Aussies get missed, so it was lovely to be tagged. I'm sorry it's a bit late. I don't know what happened to the other one, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the description below or the comments below what was your favorite song, and do any of these songs have special memories for you. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, music and crochet make the world go round. Bye for now.